Hey, welcome on everybody. This is Darren Boyd. We're gonna do do a little bit of a video edit from the Utah Cyclocross series. We're gonna call this race number 8, even though there was a race canceled. It's really the 7th one, but we're from the Kent Farm in Kaysville, Utah, and once again, the video is brought to you by Game On Live Studios and the Utah Cyclocross Series. So, anyway, I just want to, we're getting ready for the start here pretty quick. So, we'll kind of go through. I'm going to try to edit things a bit as much as possible so that we can get done with this pretty quick. So just about the start of the race. Here's the start of the 55 plus race, my race. I start on the second row, going through right about now. Got a pretty big field. I think we had 23 or 24 starters at least. This venue was a new one. Super difficult course. Took place on a farm here, as you can see, on pasture. Here we got the leaders going in. I think that's Barry leading with Dave Wood following. Big showing from the Cool Kids. For those of you who don't know who the Cool Kids are, that's KUHL, clothing manufacturer located here in Utah. Extremely big cyclocross field. So they had Barry, David Fuller, or Gary Fuller, David Wood, Rich Caramadre, and Tim Stack, and Jeff Flick, and Joe Brubaker, all in that top field. So those guys are off. The women now. Women taking off about a minute behind us. Got Jeremy Ward there hanging out, doing a little bit of announcing for UTCX, the organizer of the P-Town Cross. So anyway, we are off and got a little bit of background going there. So here's the women going through that turn. You go into these woods off to the left. It's kind of an embankment there. Where these houses border, and then on down to your left there is a really steep run up. We go up and down that embankment about 3 times, and then we drop through to the big water hole, which hopefully we'll see here in a minute. Here's the juniors going, and looks like they had a bit of a mix up here at the beginning. A couple of guys getting tangled up, so they're getting a crash course in maybe what like crit racing might be like for them a little bit later in life. So anyway, so here we have a view of some of us, our 55 plus guys, coming through the barrier section. Had Robert Kramer going through there. Some of the guys chasing me. I should have been pretty close to that group. You can see we go up. You see in the background there, we come out of this pasture and go up onto that embankment, and this is taken from up above on the embankment. There come the lead B women. That's Jess Taverna and Aubrey Larson fighting it out for the lead. Here's Kevin Zollinger. The 2 top ladies have gotten by him already, and then I think we have our 3rd and 4th ladies coming through there behind them. And so yeah, just making our way up out of the pasture, and then getting ready to make the turn up onto the out and back up on the lawn up above. And then the house for, I believe, these farm owners sits up above there. Here comes Bree Hoops coming through the screen there for the B women mid-pack. So this is up above. Just had a brief view. So some of us coming back the other way now. So you can see riders. There goes Kevin going through the barrier sections there. A lot of us kind of questions why we had to have barriers when there was already 2 or 3 places where you had to dismount and run in this course. There I come through, heading back towards the wooded section with Daryl Davis chasing me there. I think by this point I had pretty much already settled into my mid-pack position. I kind of phrased it as kind of leading the best of the rest. We had our top 10 or 12 guys had already kind of gotten a pretty good gap from us at that point. And then I kind of led the chase contingency of the mortals. I had Daryl Davis and then Shane Dunleavy chasing me through the latter stages of the race. So we're a little over midway. You can see up above some of the other riders coming through here. There goes Donald Leach. Sorry, drew a blank there for a second. A couple of the other women there. Eileen coming through. And then behind us, we make a little bit of a climb up to the house and then go into the really technical wooded section, which unfortunately we don't really have any footage of from today's race. But really technical single track wooded sections with a couple really tough little climb ups, questionably rideable sections, really rutted little small climb there that I fought with every single lap. And even though I was able to ride it in practice, I wasn't ever able to ride it in the race. And then a couple a steep downhill switchback, and then a downhill, steep downhill into a creek crossing with a steep run up after that, and a tough little climb right after you remounted to come back up onto this this pasture or meadow section, whatever you want to call it, for the finish. So definitely probably one of the toughest or most technical courses we've had to date, although we have had some doozies already. But tough stuff. There goes some of the junior women going through, and then you can see the climb there up by the house with the switchback up at the top, and then we go into that wooded section in the background of our picture there. So okay, and so here we come. Here comes Barry, it looks like, and David, the leaders. Also probably have Gary and Rich all coming through for the finish of the first lap. Goes David through there. So these guys are amazing athletes, just already opening up a big gap to us mere mortals, like I said. So there comes Brian Rissa and Tim Stack, I believe. And then so those guys are probably running in like 6th or 7th, 8th place, right around in there. So there they come through the start finish. Now here comes Tally Goodson and Robert Kramer racing together, and then probably Joe Brubaker, I'm guessing. And then there is Greg Saronin. That actually may be Greg and Joe there. There they come through the start-finish line. So this is all to finish up lap 1. There I come, getting ready to finish with Dr. Cross, Daryl Davis following me, perennial favorite, and on the mountain bike once again, we had John Atzett, and then Todd Taft coming through there, and Shane Dunleavy. There goes Greg, my buddy Greg, on his new S-Works, heading to the switchbacks, getting ready to go back into this banking section. Some of the that's I think Jess, the lead woman, and Aubrey following her. Looks like Stephen um, Campbell or Coleman, sorry, Doc Stephen Coleman going through the start finish there. Um, all chasing us down. I believe that could be Megan Lowe right there, third place B woman. And then there's Eileen Panicoke and a couple, another one of the B women and one of the tailing 55 plus guys. So that pack, those two packs already starting to get mixed up pretty good. Okay, so here we have some good footage of our water crossing. That was Tally coming through there. If you look in the background, you can see there's a pretty tough off-camera section. There comes Dr. Coleman through the water. And then Aubrey, second place female. That's Donald Armstrong getting ready to come through the water there. So had just a crazy water crossing after coming off of a really tricky off-camera section with a really steep little climb just before it. So again, technical stuff along that bank. So here's some more riders, a long shot of riders coming through that water crossing. So here in the background, you can see riders coming up off the pasture and then going up to that ride. Here's another rider coming through that the water crossing there, and a couple riders coming into that off-camera section. You can see how that section can be kind of tricky. A little bit better traction on a mountain bike. Some of the junior riders coming through here. Again, in the background, you can see here comes Bri Hoops coming through there. You see she's got 1 foot out, struggling with that off camber. I actually found it was actually better to, here comes Bri through the water crossing. And here comes Donald Leach onto that off camber. Yep, see he slipped out there, so a good example. I actually found it was better to actually drop down and go lower, even though there was a line up above. That line was pretty slick, and so I pretty much was able to just drop down and ride that lower and not have any trouble with slipping out. We have a saying in cyclocross that green is grip, which means when it starts getting slimy, if you can stay on the grass, you get a little bit more grip. So green is grip, which is the old adage about being on fresh grass is got a little bit more grip than the muddy stuff in between. Again, in the background, you can see the footage. Now, this is taken from up above. Looks like that could have been Eileen making good time on the fairly flat but heavy grass path here along this is basically the lawn of the big farmhouse to our left there. This looks like Barry coming through to finish up another lap, second lap. Must be Gary Fuller following him, one of the junior girls. That's one aspect to these races, having some of these younger riders that are, riding at a significantly slower pace than we are, but also some like national level athletes. It doesn't take long for us to start catching them, and that can have an impact on our race as we're trying to get by some of the slower riders in the more technical, narrow sections that are harder to pass in. So definitely something that can have an effect on our race. As you can see now, the 2 lap to go sign, so we were only able to get 4 laps in. Looks like there goes David Wood. and maybe Rich following him. It's like we also had Joseph Albano in there, and he's teammates with Brian Ressa on Wasatch Cross and Gravel, along with my buddy Greg Saronin. Those guys are probably kind of like the second biggest team. Looks like I think that's Brian and Tim going through right there right now. So finished up the second lap, so about halfway through. Yeah, here comes Brian and Tim. Tim's got the neon colored. I think it's probably a Crux, Specialized Crux, so he's pretty recognizable, even though a lot of those guys on the Cool Kid look alike. A couple more of the cool kids coming up to finish. Not sure. That's Robert Kramer there, who I've been dicing with throughout the series. Had a really good race, and then there goes Greg Saronin on his brand new Crux in his Lexus kit from, I believe, from back east. Yeah, here comes Robert, and then Greg will be coming through the start finish line here. Robert had a great race yesterday. Ended up finishing a couple minutes ahead of me, so he's either coming into some fitness or this technical nature of this course just really suited him well yesterday. Looks like that's probably Jess, leader in women's speed, coming through the start finish line to finish her second lap. A couple of juniors finishing up the pasture section here. So here comes a couple of our chase group from the 55 plus. Don Armstrong there. Todd Taft, I think. Yeah, there goes Doc Coleman, Stephen Coleman going through. There goes Don through the start finish. There goes Stephen Coleman. There comes Daryl. So I guess I'm just ahead of these guys there. Comes Todd, Don. I think that's the fourth place woman. I don't have her name handy. Sorry. Okay, it looks like we have our leaders coming through for the finish of lap 3. Here pretty quick. Okay, actually here comes Barry, I think, getting ready to finish up his third lap. So he is going to get the bell, the 1 lap to go. Looks like he's just passed Kevin Zolli there coming through our screen. So yeah, that looks like that's probably Barry finishing up his lap. There comes Jeremy to change the lap sign. There comes Dave. I think that's 3rd and 4th place. Dave and Rich. This is showing the climb up by the house. Goes around that big tree up there. There comes Tim. So here comes Jess to finish up her third lap. My group should become two. There goes Robert Kramer going into the woods. There's Aubrey chasing Jess, coming in to finish up her third lap. I should be not too terribly far behind at this point. In that chase group I'm leading. And one of the junior riders struggling with that off-camera section before going in the water crossing. I think that's Tally. He slips out again on that. A lot of guys really struggling with that. Tally coming through the water crossing. Could be a tire selection or tire pressure situation. Definitely a knobby course. So there comes Doc Coleman. So I would have already come through. I was probably about 30 seconds to a minute ahead of these guys. One of the junior rides really taking it easy on that camera. There goes Steven through the start finish. There goes Eileen getting ready to finish up her third lap. A couple of the faster junior riders. Okay, I think here comes Barry for the finish. He is just getting ready to pass Bry. So it looks like he might save Bry doing another lap unless he's going to cruise in behind her. Yeah, he is. So Bry's going to go ahead and have to do her other lap so she'll get her money's worth. So that's Barry taking the win. Here comes Gary Fuller, P2, so he's about 40 seconds behind, it looks like. It's Barry Makarowitz, I think is how you say it, by the way. I think he's only done 4 races, and I think he's won every one he showed up for, so... Here comes Dave Wood, who I believe ended up in P3. Yep, Dave was P3, so here he comes with Rich Caramadre following him. Comes Joe Albano, I think. Donald Leach, who's been lapped, so he'll be finishing up. That's another one of the back markers. And then there comes Brian Ressa. Oh, tangling up a little bit with the junior who had a chain drop. So I think that is Brian Ressa and Tim Stack. Brian just edging out Tim there for piece 6 and 7. Good view of the mountains in the background. You're looking east there. I think that's Jeff Flick. That might have been. That's Tally. Yeah, I think that's Tally finishing up there. That might be Joe Brubaker finishing up. Hard to tell all these cool guys apart. Sorry. Or that could be Jeff Flick. Yeah, I'm thinking that was Jeff, and then this is Joe Brubaker. Another shot from up above. A couple guys going over the barriers. I think that's Joe. Yeah, and then Robert Kramer coming through for 11th. And then Greg Saronin. There's Kevin Zollinger finishing up, and then Greg coming through for 12th, and then here comes Jess to win the women's B field. Some of the younger junior riders. And then I was like over a minute and a half down from Greg. So here's Aubrey coming down to finish second for the women's B. I should have only been a few seconds behind her. Must have been one of the juniors finishing up. That looks like maybe he one of the junior winner. Here comes our pack. I've already finished, and then here comes Daryl. There goes Daryl. So Shane and I have already finished. There goes Daryl, and John, and there goes. I think that's Todd Taft, and then one of the juniors again, and then Don Armstrong and Stephen Coleman come through. It's a good shot of some of the riders finishing up their lap, climbing the hill to the house there. Yeah, so here comes Don Armstrong and Dr. Coleman. riding pretty close together, finishing up their lap. There they go across the start finish line. And just a few more guys to finish. Actually, I think here comes Eileen to finish her race. I think she was in, I think she finished fourth after Megan. So it's kind of wrapping things up. I didn't write down the name of that. That is our fifth place woman. Another one of the juniors, going to take a little jump there, show off for his family. So anyway, there you have it. We looks like we got about 47 minutes worth of racing into a 31 minute video. So once again, I'd like to thank Game On Live Studios for providing the footage. No drone footage this week, but I heard the announcers saying that that they were working on getting guys licensed where they could have more drone footage in the future. And if you saw my video from last week, that really added an element and allowed us to show you a lot more of the course. So anyway, just want to thank them, and for Utah Cyclocross Series, I will link the both of their websites or place where you can find them in the comments on this video. And so thanks for watching, and we will maybe see you again next time. Ciao.